Here we are. So first of all, welcome to all of you. I want to say we are sorry for the problem that we had, network problem. I know that it is a problem that we have with the whole Starlink network in Europe. So it is not just something regarding us. So now we are trying to do the best so that you have this recording that we are recording now live right there for you. Okay. So now again, welcome to all of you. In this case, this is Mattia Francesco Rossi. I'm one of the teachers of Change Your Life Academy. Actually, as you can get also by my last name, Rossi, I'm the son of the founder of Change Your Life Academy. So what does this mean? This means that that I've been living with the values, with the teachings of Filippo Rossi for my whole life. So I really had the possibility to learn from him in any kind of different situations. And now, again, I'm one of the teachers, one of the lecturers of these kind of programs that we have, Change Your Life Leadership, Change Your Life Masterclass, and also Change Your Life Kindle for the kids. Now we're going to delve into Change Your Life Leadership program. We know, in case you do not know this, well, you have the website that can explain you perfectly it, that Change Your Life Leadership is based on 5 core competencies that Filippo discovered were the most impactful competencies in any kind of leader in all the companies that he worked with in a past experience as a consultant in those companies. And in specific now, we're going to delve into one of them, specific interactions with others. And the key topic of this moment here is roles. So the starting point of everything, and I'm sure that you can certainly connect with this in some ways, is a mistake that most of the people make. What is this mistake? The mistake that we make is thinking at ourselves as just one human being that is complete in one thing. Okay. There is also a book that has been written about this, really a famous one, that really explains how we are not just one. Okay? In this case, we sometimes think of ourselves as just one thing. But at the same time, when we do so, we make big mistakes in doing so. Why? Because we are not just one. We have different roles in different situations. We experience life in different kind of situations, and we need to be different in these different situations. This means that if we think at ourselves as just one person, we will have a problem in facing the different kinds of roles. Just as an example, we can be better. We are for sure the son of the daughter of someone else, of our parents. So this is a role that we have, that even if you don't do anything else in life, you have at least one role that is different from the life that you are maybe living. Then you have your job position. In this case, you have a different role. Maybe you are a manager, maybe you are an accountant, maybe you are a lawyer. In this case, you have a different role. Then maybe you have some siblings. In this case, you can be a brother or a sister for someone else. At the same time, maybe you will become a mother or a father of some children. So this is one to make you think that if you face these different kinds of situations, these different roles in the same way, you will find yourself in a really difficult situation managing them all. Why? Because all of these roles, they all have different responsibilities. So now start thinking, start really also writing down what are the responsibilities that you have for these roles. Starting from the first one, the easiest one in a way might be the job position that you have. Maybe you are a manager. So if you are a manager, for sure, one responsibility that you have is managing other people. So you have to make sure that those people, the people that you manage, they are reaching the objectives. You need to make sure that the objectives that maybe the manager that you have over you gave you, you need to make sure that you are reaching them. You need to make sure that you are training the people that you're managing, not just letting them do the things and then seeing what are the results, but also training them to do and to perform always better. So you have different responsibilities, but it's not just for one role. You need to do the same for all the other roles that you have. For example, being a son or a daughter, you have for sure the responsibility of taking care of your parents. Maybe if they are old, maybe you need, in taking care of your parents, also to do some also specific things, tasks, such as doing grocery store shopping for them. So making sure that maybe the house is clean. So you have different responsibilities, and the responsibilities are connected with all the different roles that you have. But here we get to one main difficulty. So how can I manage all the different responsibilities if I behave in the same way in all the different situations? There is a way of saying, really common in English, of wearing too many hats, different hats. In this case, you need to make sure that you first of all find what are the different type of hats that you are wearing. So what are the different roles that you have? Step number one. Step number two, defining all the responsibilities for all the roles. When you will be doing this really practical work, and so I suggest you to do it right after watching this video, make sure to list all the responsibilities. You will find that you have some responsibilities that you haven't considered before, and maybe you are not fulfilling them. Then, step number three. After defining what the responsibilities are, you get to define what are the priorities. This is one of the biggest difficulty that people in our courses, when they start thinking in this way of priorities, responsibilities, roles, when they start trying to write down the things, they really struggle in defining the priorities. We're not that used to write down priorities, have clear in mind priorities of, first of all, the different roles that we have. What is the most important one? What is the one that if I don't solve that role, I'm going to make a huge mess in my life? So for example, is it more important for me, my job position, or my family? If you don't well define the priority, you will find yourself maybe prioritizing something such as job, work, maybe living in the second place your family, but not because of your will. Just because maybe you need to make sure to have the money for the family. So you are thinking, well, I need to do things, I need to work a lot, so to make sure that my family has all the money that they need to do everything. At the same time, you are not spending as much time as you need with them. And if it is not your choice, hey, you have a problem. Then, once you will have defined specifically what are the different priorities between your roles, then second step will be to define the priorities in your roles. Just an example. In the last course that we had, there was a manager, an accountant manager, so she needs to make sure that all the different people in the team that she had to manage were, first of all, really doing the things in between the time before the deadline. So, for example, sending the report in time. But if I don't consider that this is the most important priority, because if I don't follow the deadline, so I'm not well aligned with that, and I just give the documents report too late, I'm really having big problems in my company. If I don't consider this, and maybe one other responsibility and big importance for it is training, and I want to train my team, and I set the training days in the days before the deadlines, this is a problem because you're not considering priorities. So what is the first most important task that you need to make sure that you're going to accomplish in that specific situation, in that specific role? Then the second one, then the third one. And hey, you know what? If you define your priorities, you will finally have the power of making decisions for your life without worrying about making the wrong one. So when you have to decide, am I going to do this or this other thing? If I have a clear priority in my mind, and so I need that in between two options, I'm going to follow the first one that is going to leave the second option out. I'm going to be really happy with following the first one. Why? Because I have clear priorities in my mind. So this is the third step. And then step number 4. Step number 4 is something that many people talk about and at the same time many people struggle with. What is it? Delegate. You might have a problem in your life. You might be living the problem of delusion of omnipotence. Has it ever happened to you that maybe you start thinking at a task that you need to make sure that you're going to do, one responsibility that you have, and you start thinking and reasoning with yourself, who is the one that can do this task? Well, I'm the only one that can perform this perfectly. And who is the person for the second task? Well, it's me. So the third one is me. So you don't trust anyone. You think that the only one capable is yourself, or that maybe you have to do everything just for yourself, just by yourself, because maybe asking for help to others is a problem. But hey, here we get to one of the biggest situations, biggest feeling that most of the people at some time in some places start living, feeling overwhelmed. Has it ever happened? Well, in this case, maybe you are facing really this, thinking that you are the only one that can do the thing or that needs to do things. Hey, it's not true. You need to give delegates. And hey, yes, the first delegate in your role is yourself. You are not the role. You are a delegate in that role. And then, who are the people that can help you in achieving the responsibilities, in achieving the goals for the responsibilities that you have? So this is one really important thing, the step number 4. When you think about delegating to others, you always need to consider one other thing, and it is control. Step number 5, control. How am I going to control my delegates? And if you right understood the previous step, the first delegate that you have in your life, in your role, is yourself. So how am I going to control myself? Do I have a system? Do I have a task management software? Do I have, even just a notepad that I can write down a list of the things that I need to do, and then checking, I did it, and then maybe the first one, no, so I need to make sure that I'm going to do it. If you don't have a system that makes sure that you do everything, you are in a big problem. You will be in big problems because first of all, you're not going to control yourself, and you have already started experiencing this. We cited this in the previous lessons, in the previous webinars, in the previous videos. You, because of the way that we are grown up, we most of the time don't have enough will to keep with one task as long enough to make it happen. How many times it has happened to you that you want to start with a project, you are so proud of yourself, hey, I'm going to do this. And then, after a while, some hours, some days, some months, when things start to get hard, you just leave it. You say, well, maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's not the right thing to do. And so you just leave it there. If you don't have a system that makes sure to control the things that you are doing, you are going to fall in this trap. And also with others, the delegates that you have. So step number 5 is control. At the same time, this full process that I just explained you in really an as easy as possible way is the system that it is at the base of a tool that we teach in Change Your Life Leadership. The tool is called Flow Star. the flow star is such an incredible, powerful tool. It can be defined also as a scientific, mathematical tool that when you apply everything, every step of it, you get in detail and you are able to keep using it in a dynamic way, you are always going to fulfill all of your goals. So this is really important. In Change Your Life Leadership, we teach this, how to manage all the different roles that you have, how not to feel overwhelmed anymore, how to make and to have clarity in your mind in between the different roles that you are living in your life, and also how to manage others, because for any kind of delegate that you give to others, you are also creating another role. And so you need to apply this flow star also in the role that you're giving to the person. And so to make sure that the person has everything clear in his mind. So if you are considering this kind of path, this kind of program, Change Your Life Leadership, I just want to tell you this. What we covered now is just the 10% of the whole thing covered in full. So not just in this video. I mean, this is a topic that we cover in more than half a day of the course. So it's really a complex one. Practicing, putting things in, writing down the things, okay? This is just the 10% of the whole thing. One important advice, one important piece of information that you need to have, and so also one thing that you need to comprehend is that you are way more than what they told you you are. You can be whatever you want in your life. You can achieve any kind of result. How? By planning, developing will, power, and having clear in mind your roles. And also having great knowledge, culture, and being self-aware. These are the 5 competencies that you are going to learn in Change Your Life Leadership. This is how to become a true leader. So thank you so much for your attention. I truly hope that this is something that you are going to really put in practice as soon as possible, even before enrolling in the course. Start applying it. And then when we will see each other in the classroom, I'll be more than happy to give you all the different informations and to work directly with you in how to make sure that you are clear with all the roles that you have. So thank you so much again, and looking forward to seeing you in Change Your Life Leadership.